It had been a long day. Jesus had spent hours teaching by the Sea of Galilee. The crowd was massive, so large, in fact, that he had to get into a boat just to speak. From there, he taught in parables about seeds and soil, lamps and hidden things, mustard seeds and the quiet ways of the kingdom of God. Peter, along with the other disciples, had been with Jesus all day. They listened closely, but often didn't fully understand. Still, they followed. They were drawn to this teacher who spoke with such authority and whose words carried life. When evening came, Jesus turned to them and said something simple. "Let us go over to the other side." Mark 4:35. The other side of the lake, Gentile territory, was unfamiliar and uncomfortable for Jewish men like Peter. But they obeyed. They left the crowd, took Jesus as he was, and set off across the water. The sea was calm at first. The disciples, many of them experienced fishermen, were in their element. Peter likely felt confident, even peaceful under the stars. But then, without warning, it hit. A violent storm. Not uncommon on the Sea of Galilee, where winds can whip down from the surrounding hills and stir up sudden brutal squalls. The sky darkened, waves surged, water crashed into the boat, filling it. The calm journey turned into a nightmare. Peter, who had seen storms before, now felt real fear. This wasn't just rough weather, it was life-threatening. And in the midst of it all, Jesus was asleep, on a cushion, in the back of the boat. The contrast was overwhelming. The disciples were panicking, bailing water, shouting, trying to stay alive. And Jesus was resting. It was more than Peter could handle. "Teacher, don't you care that we're about to drown?" Mark 4:38. This cry wasn't just about the waves, it was about the feeling of abandonment, the confusion, the helplessness. It was an honest cry, maybe even an accusation, from someone trying to trust, but overwhelmed by fear. That's when everything changed. Jesus stood. He rebuked the wind and spoke to the sea. "Peace, be still." Mark 4:39. Just like that, the storm stopped. The waves became still. The wind was silent. The sea turned calm again, as if it had never raged. And Peter? He didn't feel relief, at least not immediately. He felt awe, a deep, trembling realization. Who is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him? Mark 4:41. Peter began to understand. Jesus wasn't just a rabbi or miracle worker. He was Lord over all creation. And if he was in the boat, then no storm, physical or spiritual, could truly destroy them. We don't know what happened after that. The account ends here. There's no neat little bow, but we can picture the rest. They returned to shore, perhaps to the same place where they'd left. The crowd was gone, but Jesus was still there, waiting, teaching, healing. And Peter, along with the other disciples, were ready to listen, truly listen, ready to hear more of Jesus' words and watch more of his works, ready to see who he was and know who he claimed to be. Are you ready to do the same? Are you ready to put your faith in Jesus Christ, who calms the storms and quiets the seas, not because he can't be bothered to care about your struggles, but because he already has, because he already does? You see, Jesus isn't just a guy who calmed a storm once upon a time. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. And that means he's just as capable of calming the storm in your life right now as he was the one Peter experienced all those years ago. So take heart. Take courage. Whatever you're going through, whatever you're facing, whatever's happening in your world, know that Jesus cares. Know that he's in the boat with you. And if you'll call on his name, he will rebuke the winds and waves and bring you peace.